I'm Cody, and this is Time for History. We've been talking about a lot of really ancient things, and I'm going to stick with that, but I want to take a little bit of time to talk about some modern concepts as well. In modern international relations, there's several different theories that people use to try to explain questions like what causes war, what causes peace, why do some countries do better at things like trade and diplomacy and warfare than others? And I want to look at some of those theories. First of all, there's liberal theory. Liberal theory says that nations don't want war. They want to avoid war if possible by things like international agreements and diplomacy. Liberal theory says that democracies are less likely to go to wars than countries that are not democracies. Liberal theory says that if countries have free trade with each other, they're less likely to go to war because now their businesses are tied up with one another, and that will encourage them not to have war against each other. There's also Marxist theory. Marxist theory says that a country tends to do what's in the best interest of the person who runs the country or the people who back the country financially. It's not even necessarily about what's best for the country. It's about what's going to make the most money for the people who are invested in that country. There's Constructivism. Constructivism kind of says that we create our own social reality by the ideas that we believe. Why does money have value? Well, because we've decided that piece of paper has value. Why are there borders? Well, because we've decided that there is going to be a border there. It wasn't, like the gods created everything in the beginning and there was a border there. No, that's what we have decided. We constructed that reality. We construct our alliances. We construct who our enemies are, and so forth, right? But the theory that I want to talk about the most is what's called realist theory. Realist theory has a few assumptions. First, every country is self-interested and only cares about itself. Second, every country is rational. Third, every country will do what is in its rational best interest. So if you want to know what a country is going to do ahead of time, just ask, what is in that country's rational best interest? If you can figure that out, then at least according to realist theory, you can predict what a country is going to do before it does it. Now, if these assumptions are correct, then we can assume that every country wants to be what they call the hegemon. The hegemon is the country that is so powerful that even if the rest of the world ganged up on that country, it might still be able to win. Its people are safer than anywhere else in the world, and that country gets what it wants because it has so much power. According to realist theory, if a country can become the hegemon by going to war, it will do so because that's what's in its rational best interest. Also, according to realist theory, if another country is becoming a hegemon, then the other countries will see that and they will probably join together in some sort of alliance to gang up on that country, to keep it down, to keep a balance of power so that other country doesn't become the hegemon and then do whatever it wants to them. If two countries are equally powerful and they're much more powerful than all the rest, then those two countries, according to realist theory, will compete to become the hegemon. And that creates a really dangerous world for everybody. You can think of the United States and the Soviet Union during the Cold War. Or you can also think of Sparta and Athens during the Peloponnesian War. This is a modern concept to explain war and who wins and why countries go to war and diplomacy and all of that sort of thing. But it's not new. If we go back to the 1600s, we see a similar theory coming from Thomas Hobbes in his book, The Leviathan. Thomas Hobbes saw the world as a dangerous place because every person is selfish and every person is self-interested and cares about their own survival and cares about their own well-being and their own pursuit of power. So Hobbes asks us to imagine life without government. There's no government, but everybody is out there pursuing their own power, pursuing their own survival. You might see this kind of like if you watch The Walking Dead. That's kind of Hobbes in action. We would all kill our neighbors. Hobbes argues that we would kill our neighbors for one of three reasons. Some of us would kill our neighbors because we see what our neighbor has and we're going to go and take it from them. Some of us, we want to have glory. We want to be the strongest person. We want to be the hegemon as an individual or as a group, so we're going to go kill our neighbors. Others would kill our neighbors purely for defensive reasons. We worry that if we don't kill our neighbor first, they're going to come and kill us. So we go kill our neighbors to protect ourselves. In short, every person is self-interested and will do what it takes to stay alive. So if there were no government, that would be a really horrible world to live in because everybody is doing what is in their rational best interest. Without government, Hobbes argues, life would be nasty, brutish, short. There would be no art, no literature, no science. We would just be surviving. In the 1500s, there was a philosopher named Nicola Machiavelli who saw it in a similar way. According to Machiavelli, it's all about power. Morality doesn't matter. Justice, ethics, none of that stuff matters. What really matters is the pursuit of power. Machiavelli wrote a book called The Prince, where he gave advice to rulers. And basically what he tells them is pursue power. Make the people love you, make the people hate you. Do whatever it takes to get power. Don't worry about all those fuzzy concepts like justice. Worry about pursuing power. Get to the top. Because if you're at the top, you make the rules. If you're at the top, you get what you want. If you're not, then you suffer and you do what other people tell you to do. You might say, but that's not right. Well, Machiavelli would say, maybe not, but that's how it is. And if we pretend it's another way, we're denying reality. So today, this rational choice theory is a popular way of explaining human nature and change in history. It was popular for Machiavelli in the 1500s, Hobbes in the 1600s, and today the entire fields of economics, political science, business, and international relations are all based on rational choice theory to some extent. But in reality, this goes way back even further. This was what Thucydides was talking about thousands of years ago. Thucydides had the belief that power and the pursuit of power is what makes history happen. The pursuit of power is what causes governments to rise and fall and people to go to war and change to take place. Is Thucydides right? In much of our politics today, we talk about right and wrong. We want leaders who agree with us. Should we care more about this person knows how to pursue power? Or are we right in focusing on right and wrong and justice and all of these concepts? Something to think about. I'm Cody. This is Time for History. I'll see you in the next video.